Hello, I think this is working. Hello, namaste. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here for our third part of our chakra series, 2019. So this is my third chakra series. I did one in 2012 and I did one in 2016 and this one now in 2019. So it's interesting for me reflecting. I'm always accessing the chakras every single day, most of the day. Like it's a big part of what I do and how I self-heal, how I connect, how I share my guidance videos, do my healing work. Everything really comes back to the chakras for me. So it's been very interesting already sharing and connecting with the first two chakras, is connecting with these more deeply and spending some focused time on each of these chakras is really interesting for me because I can see how much my relationship with them has also deepened, which is very exciting. It's exciting for me. So it just shows me how much I've grown, I guess, is another way of looking at it. So welcome. It's lovely to see you all. Our focus today is this solar plexus chakra. It's the yellow chakra. So I get out the top I rarely wear, which is yellow. And it's our power center. So we're sort of balancing up yesterday's emotional center, the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is very much lunar connected, feminine, and today now we're connecting with the solar plexus chakra, which is very much fiery, sun sort of connected and more masculine. So very excited to be connecting. Just a reminder that if you want an overview of the chakra system, please have a look back at video 1. The first 10 or 15 minutes, I just talk about the system, so where these chakras fit and a little bit about the system itself. I don't want to cover that in every video, so please go back if you need to recap or if you missed that. So our focus today is the solar plexus. Now the solar plexus chakra sits just above the navel, so you may want to put your hands there if you want to, just above your navel. And the back of the solar plexus chakra is at the middle back. So we could think of a zone around this area of our body that comes up to the bottom of our rib cage, maybe a little bit higher, to our navel. And this band or zone that goes from the front, around the sides and around to our middle back. So any physical issues in these areas, I'd be definitely looking at the connected chakra. So in this case, the solar plexus chakra. So the front area of the solar plexus, like all of the other front chakras, which are all of them except the base and the crown, are like a vortex that comes out from the body and expands out like this, or funnels into the body and then moves out. So the same on the back area. So we have like a vortex front, vortex back, but down at the solar plexus chakra in this case. So when it's healthy and in good balance and nice and open, we don't have any blocks that are playing out at the time, then that chakra is going to be bringing in life force really strongly and also projecting out life force too really strongly. So that sort of balance of giving and receiving. So our solar plexus chakra usually vibrates at the color frequency of yellow or gold sometimes, I've seen it. And it's our center for personal power, strength and courage. So this is our fiery power center. We did connect a lot with our power in the base chakra, which was surprising to me. It felt to me at the time when we connected like a power station where we generate power, where we generate life force. So our solar plexus chakra is where we find the courage and the confidence to keep going in our life, the motivation. The solar plexus chakra is also one of the few that we may actually feel. So when we get butterflies or nervous or anxious, when we're giving our power away or we have a loss of personal power, we may feel it quite physically in our solar plexus chakra. as a sickly feeling, as butterflies. Sometimes for me, I feel like a pulled in feeling where my solar plexus is trying to retreat back because I might be feeling a bit unconfident or a bit small in a situation. So I have a sort of drawing in loss of power, personal power. Now, of course, power, we can look at power from different angles and perspectives. Hi, everyone. I don't want to say people's names because this will be watched later, the replay. But, you know, we have healthy ways of being powerful, which I would say being or standing or being empowered. So empowerment to me is where we're standing safe in our power and we're not trying to force or convince or manipulate other people to stand in their power too, but it's usually looking up to us power. I see this a lot in the spiritual community, unfortunately, and coming off the back of a New Age festival was something that I saw quite strongly, is people giving their power away to readers, giving their power away to tools or spirit, or I feel that we have to be really careful in regards to, or very aware of where we're sending our power. So we can lose our personal power by projecting outwardly, is one way of losing our personal power. So that might mean that there's a life situation going on where we are blaming someone for hurting us. And we may have all the great reasons why we can blame this person. But anytime we're blaming or we're feeling victim to something that happened to us in our life, whether there's a person connected or a situation or this event or this happened there, why did that happen? And the giving our power away to that drains our personal power. So I visualize that as like cords, or sometimes they're like big pipes that connect us with that person. And we're just giving them our power. We might be angry at them, but we're still giving them our power because we're keeping that situation alive. We're keeping that outward thing going by being angry, by holding on, by telling the story over and over again. So we create like an unhealthy cord or pipe, depending the nature of it and the energy of it. We create this unhealthy connection where we're actually draining our power unintentionally because we're angry and we're bitter about this, or we are finding it difficult to accept that something happened, a life experience. So we might be giving our power away to this unfortunate event that happened in our life that we're struggling to get over. So everything that we think, everything that we feel keeps going back to this one event. In other words, energetically, we're giving our power away to that event. When we rely on people to, like I said, a lot in the spiritual New Age community, a lot of people this is why I don't do readings for the most part, because 90% of the people that want readings, not all of them, but a lot of them want to give their power over to the reader. And they can't make any decisions about anything without contacting the reader and saying, should I do this? What does Spirit say? And this is why I love doing readings, but this is why I just don't do them. So there's different things, situations, different potentials where we can actually give our power away. And we might, and you may even feel this as you're connecting here and tuning in and thinking about, okay, these various situations, usually in the past, maybe connected with people that hurt us, people that we're worried about right now, loved ones who we may be concerned about, we're also giving our power away. So we may feel as we connect, and I can sit here and feel, and I'm pretty good at keeping my personal power, but as I sit here and connect, I can feel a couple of cords, if you like, going out of me, out of my solar plexus chakra, and into these people, into these situations. So I'm generating power in my base chakra, in the power station of my base chakra, and then I'm potentially giving it away at my solar plexus. Or I'm potentially building on my personal power through empowerment in my solar plexus chakra. We can also give our power away to our thoughts. So when I connect with auras, quite often I see a very top-heavy head part of the aura. So this is the area here where I see the mind energy. So it's like the area of our aura that's around our head. And this is our sort of mental zone, if you like, is how I see it. And when it's healthy and clear and not thinking too much in the way of ridiculous, useless thoughts that are unnecessary, when it's balanced in the mind, it's quite healthy, and the body's quite healthy with energy. But when we start tipping over or moving into a very stressful, overthinking, worrying, negative thoughts, and we're in a downward mental spiral, we actually pull the power out of our body to feed our thoughts. So what these thoughts need is they need energy, they need life force. So the first place they pull it from is the body. And the first place that gets depleted is usually the base chakra, and then it just works its way up. And we can become very weak in energy, low in energy in the lower part of our body, and very top heavy up here, as those mental thoughts just get fed and fed and fed. And then once we've drained our own body of life force to feed these thoughts, as we've given our power away to the thoughts, then we unconsciously draw the power and the life force of others. So then it's like up here we have a vortex at the top of our head that's like a hurricane, and it draws in life force of others. So you know, when we're around someone that's really negative or really depressed, and we leave the conversation feeling so drained, because unconsciously they've actually pulled on our own energy to feed these thoughts, because they continually need life force. So for us personally, it's important to keep our mind thoughts in check as much as possible. Every day, just check in to make sure we're not giving our power away to our thoughts. We have things that go on in life, things happen that can be stressful. So if we can deal with that stress and then work on finding a healthy balance for our mind, which basically means it's not just mental health and mental balance. It's also, if it drains our body of energy and we get exhausted through so much thinking because we're giving our power away to the thoughts, we're not only looking after our mental health by being mentally aware of what our thoughts are to make sure they're healthy and positive, we're also looking after our body. So it sort of like goes together, if you like. Hi everyone. So our solar plexus chakra is probably one of the biggest areas I see where we give our power away. We tend to, just with life experiences. So it's very important to be aware. If we're searching for answers, you know, we go on these quests and we're looking for a solution, or we might be looking for information, and we go in this bit of a questing space, looking outside of ourselves for answers. That's also giving our power away to that. So this is why you might hear me often say, let's turn our focus inward. And I'll remind you of this example because I think it's a great one. Is in my previous relationship, when I was feeling unsupported in my relationship and I was stressed out because I wasn't getting the support that I needed, and I was very much projecting it into my old relationship. Why isn't he supporting me? Why doesn't he acknowledge what I'm doing? And I realized after a little bit of time that I was actually sending what I needed inside. I was sending that and casting it and projecting it outwardly, waiting for someone that had no idea what I needed to support me. So then I started to think, well, maybe I can turn this around and turn my outer gaze of projecting this to somebody, noticing what they're not doing or what's not there for me, and how can I turn that I'm projecting outward inward? And then I started to think, hey, I can become my best supporter. So instead of waiting for it to come to me and being bitter and angry because every day I was feeling it less and less and less, I could actually take my power back. Can you feel that you get your power back when you turn it inward? And I started to see that I could be my best supporter, that I actually don't need anybody to support me, to validate, to confirm I'm on the right track, to acknowledge the great work that I'm doing. I can do this stuff for myself. So it then turns from a giving power away to a reclaiming of a personal power, which then builds an empowerment inside, because I was taking responsibility for how I felt and what I needed. So I was looking in other places, I was looking outside myself, but I realized I needed to turn it inward. I needed to be my best supporter and cheer myself on. And if anyone else offered me support on the way, that was a bonus to me. And I still see that as a bonus to me now. So I don't expect support because I've worked so hard and I deserve it, and I'm waiting for it in these external ways, because I feel satisfied in the support that I can give myself. So anything else is just a surprise and a bonus for me. So we can relate that to other things. So it's important, I've found, as I've self-reflected and practiced my self-healing, is to look at what I'm projecting. It usually comes from an insecurity inside. So at times when I'm feeling insecure, I might not realize that I'm projecting and wanting something from another person. And then when I kind of wake up to that and realize that, hey, I'm feeling insecure, I'm looking for something that I've obviously got missing inside me, how can I bring that back to me? How can I put a mirror up and be that I'm looking for in myself? And I find it so empowering. It's really helped me be able to stand in my power more strongly. So our solar plexus, we can think of also coming back to where we'd find courage to push through our comfort zone, to push through our resistances, also to push through our fear. And I actually find fear quite motivating now. So when I feel fear or when I feel resistance, my experience has shown me that that's just a lower part of me, my hurt, pained side, that's trying to hold me back in the pain. So the bigger and the louder the resistance, the bigger and louder the fear, the more my ears prick up, because I know that my lower self is trying to stop me from moving into something very important for me. I always weigh it up with my common sense. I wouldn't go jumping off a bridge just because I felt scared to and I wanted to push through that. I mean, that's not common sense. But this is in general life situations that we are confronted by or deal with. So next time you feel resistance or fear, think about what you're feeling. Are you going to push through it? And when you push through it, what awaits you on the other side? I've always found the biggest, most amazing important life moments exist on the other side of the loudest fear and the loudest resistance. So I rarely let fear and resistance stop me now. Instead, I acknowledge, okay, I'm feeling resistant, I'm feeling fear. That's actually a good sign. It means I'm actually going to proceed. If I'm not feeling resistance or fear, I may not even proceed with something. So it just depends on how I feel at the time. But it takes courage. So we're bringing that up from our solar plexus chakra. It takes courage and confidence and clarity in most cases to be able to move through the fear. It's like a veil. And the more we notice the fear and the more we kind of feed into it, the louder it becomes too. So to push through our fear, to push through our resistances, to step into the unknown, to step out of our comfort zone and to test ourselves, challenge ourselves, requires courage. And we're going to get that from our solar plexus chakra. I see it as like a sun on our belly, a fiery sun. So I've chosen the fire dragon here to have with me for this particular connection. And it's very much how I see the solar plexus chakra. I see it like a phoenix. I see it like a fiery dragon. I see it like a sun. And it's that motivation. It's also really that source of anger in some ways, and maybe the anger rises up from the feeling center, the sacral chakra, and rises up into the solar plexus and becomes a motivator. You know, I get really rebellious when I'm angry, when I'm feeling frustrated with something. I remember when I first started, when I was learning how to make these pendants, and it was a 2-day course. The first day was fine. I had not a problem in the world. I'm usually pretty good creatively, so there's a lot of creative things that come naturally to me. So when I'm in good flow, it works, and you know, this is creating well, everything's falling into place. The second day we had to make cords, and I was totally out of my comfort zone, and I was feeling frustrated, and I was feeling this growing sense of in me. So I started to get rebellious, and I'm like, right, I wanted it to be, say, beige colour or a light brown. And I'm like, right, I'm just going to get rebellious here. I'm going for purple. And then I put beads on the end of this particular necklace once I managed to plait all this, every single strand of this cord. And I'm like, right, I'm going for the most bold, bright colours, these little seeds, these bright red and black seeds. I'm like, I'm putting those on. And, you know, that sort of energy sort of motivates me to be rebellious, but at the same time, it ended up being something I use so much in my work and the things that I create and do. And I found that with a lot of things that I've learned to create, that at the time of learning, it's frustrating. It can be really frustrating because there's something that's out of my comfort zone. But if I can push through it, I notice that it ends up being something very important for my life or for my work. So I feel, as I'm connecting here, that the anger, that frustrating energy sort of rises up, can rise up from the sacral chakra into the solar plexus, where it turns into power. Now, anger and power can be quite destructive, as we've probably seen in our life, and we've probably experienced it ourselves, maybe personally, or been at the brunt of someone feeling this powerful anger and wanting to express it. So we have to maybe consider being careful or being aware of how we express our anger. Me being rebellious while I'm creating and picking a drastic, dynamic colour that I wouldn't have picked before, that's not going to hurt anyone. So that's just me expressing that and sort of getting that energy out. If we express it in a destructive way, of course, that's not healthy. So we want to feel the anger and feel the frustration and then channel it in a way that's not harmful to ourselves or others, but channel it in a way that can actually motivate us into that next level, because we can make great changes when we feel angry. Now, some other tools. I've got my one of the best crystals for the solar plexus chakra. I don't think it's showing up that well, but this is pyrite. Pyrite is also known as fool's gold. It's a little bit more goldy than what it appears to be to me in the video, but this is a great powerful stone. So if you're doing solar plexus work or personal power work, or if you're bringing your power back, for example, or trying to build your courage to move into change, this is a great stone to work with. So pyrite's very good, or any of your yellow or gold, any sort of stones can be great for the solar plexus. Also in the healing energy cards, there's several in here that I touched on earlier, like reunion. That's great for bringing the assertive energy back in if you've been feeling, or if we've been feeling a bit weak or small. And rise of the phoenix, of course, motivation to move to the next level. Charging, I would also class as a solar plexus card to help boost our personal power. And I think there was one other. Also self-searching. So this is a great card to go to if you've been giving your power away and looking outside of yourself for answers. So this will help you turn your gaze inward. So is there anything else I need to talk about before we go into our healing time? I don't think so. I think I've covered that pretty well. So, of course, with the back of the solar plexus, so if you're feeling a bit of energy moving now around the back, your middle back, or if you have physical issues around your spine or areas of your body there, then that's most likely connected with a past situation where you've given your power away, or your power has been suppressed. In any case, you have a loss of personal power. So if you were suppressed, if we were suppressed, even as children or in previous relationships, that may still be affecting us in this area of our body. So it's about now taking steps to bring our power back. And it's not something we usually get overnight, but something we can keep taking steps towards. And then some days we might feel more motivated than others. So some days we might make, a few strides of progress. Other days we might make just a little shuffle of progress. So it just depends on what we're going through at the time. So I'm looking for a healing energy card to support our healing time for the solar plexus chakra. So let's see. We'll go with this here. Oh, yes, this is the card I forgot to mention about the solar plexus. So I'd go straight to this card too if I was having solar plexus. If I was giving my power away to my thoughts, I'd go straight to this card to help bring my power back into my body. So like I was talking about before with the thought power loss. So this is freedom. This is perfect. So this is encouraging us as we go into our healing time to return our power back into our body, especially the mental stuff that we've been feeding with our thoughts and our attention and our power. So, like I said before, the bigger and more intense and more negative and more demanding our mind becomes, the more active, it's going to need more energy because it wants to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So it pulls energy out of our body to feed it and grow. And we end up with this really big, top-heavy energy field and very depleted in our body. So what we want to do is bring this life force back down. So it doesn't mean we're bringing our worries and fears and stresses and negativity down. Because like I said yesterday in the other video, it's just simply energy. So it depends what the form of it is. So is it in the form of a card? Is it in the form of a pen? So I imagine if we could break the energy down, it would just simply be energy, and then it takes another form and another form. So at the moment what's in here, it's in the form of stress or negative thoughts or just excessive ridiculous thoughts. So if we choose to bring that energy back down, it just turns back into energy, life force that it started, and returns back into our body. So if that's something you're dealing with, I would perhaps suggest focusing on bringing your power back into your body, getting back in charge of your thoughts to keep them at a nice, healthy, balanced level so that we're balanced with our body and with our mind. So I am going to use my wind gong, and my wind gong I will need to stand up to use. So I'm going to be just moving you around a bit. And I can't talk a lot. So this is going to be more of one for you to connect with yourself. So what do I need to say before I start? Because I won't be talking. Just take some deep breaths and think of, I would be suggesting that you think of areas of your life, areas in your mind or your mental energy, things that you've been giving your power away to. And summoning, calling these parts back. So whether they're mental parts, call that life force back. If it's energy or attention you've been giving someone else that did wrong by you, bring your energy back. You don't want to keep it alive and give them more attention than they deserve if they've really done wrong by you. So just summon your energy back. Cut that tie. It's okay to do so. It happened, it's in the past now. Get your power back so you can move forward. If you've been giving your power away to readers or other people that you're looking at for advice and you become quite needy of that, desperate, needy is a great sign that you're giving your power away. So if you're feeling needy or desperate or obsessed, you're giving your power away. So bring that back. Addictions, any sort of addiction, including social media and including phone addiction, is giving our power away. So bring that back. When I've felt connections, when I've been giving my power away before to things that I might be just doing every day and it just becomes a habit, I've imagined I've got a big pair of scissors energetically and I cut that tie and bring that power back to me. So you may like to imagine you've got a big pair of scissors cutting all the cords and the ties that you have where you're feeding actively all of your energy away. You might be quite a nice, caring, beautiful person that just wants to help and help and help. And you help so much that you drain yourself. You may be giving your power away. So it's important to help ourselves first and help others with the excess. We have to be able to function ourselves so we can be the best person, the best mother, the best father, the best worker that we can be. We can't do that if we're running on empty all the time and just giving our power away to any Joe Blow. So I feel this would be an important time to cut cords. Use this as an opportunity to really cut these connections now that we don't want, but we're still feeding with attention. So imagine cutting them if you can and summon your power back. And I can feel all these facets. This is like a soul retrieval. Bringing parts of ourselves back that we've disconnected from or that we've given away. So let's welcome it back like a magnet. Like our solar plexus is a magnet and all these parts are just finding their way home. So, and from, all directions, past, present, mental. So I'm going to play I'm going to play the wind gong. So work with this as you need to. Trust your intuition. Take some deep breaths and I will chat when I'm done. I'm going to move you back. Hopefully you won't fall. Okay, move you back. And I'm going to stand up. Excuse my body. I'm going to play this, so enjoy. Nice big breath. I am powerful. I am me. I call all parts of myself back home to me. Now that we've restored or called back our personal power aspects, let's now generate this fiery sun, this ball of fire in our solar plexus chakra just above the navel. Feel the fire dragon, the phoenix, the fiery sun start becoming larger, more active, and set alight with personal power, with life force. Feel your power grow and grow. And feel this fiery energy flowing around your body from the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers, to the top of your head. Your whole body alive and alight with these beautiful flames of power, this energy, this life force. Extend and expand out from you and into your life, helping bring courage, confidence for you to step forward on your life's path and embrace your life experiences, no matter how good or challenging they are. You have the power, the courage, the confidence to face what life brings you. Feel the flames flowing out onto your life's path, bringing courage to your steps, confidence to your words and thoughts and actions. So take a nice deep breath as you feel the phoenix, the fire dragon within you awaken and arise. I trust you're feeling stronger, more courageous, more confident in yourself. And when you feel more confident, you feel more clarity. When you feel more clarity, you feel more confidence. So the power that we've been working on and generating also helps bring clarity to mind, so that we're clearer and more focused about and sure about where we want to go, what we need to do, the steps we need to take in our life. So less from a cluttered, insecure mind. Our actions come from an empowered, clear, confident powerhouse that we stand in. So there's a great shift and lifting up sort of feeling through the body. The body, what I'm feeling, feels stronger. There feels to be strength in the body again, like it's motivated. It's ready to tackle whatever life might throw at us, or whatever happens, or whatever we create in our life. That we're ready to tackle and get our teeth into and find a solution and be challenged by and be nourished by our life experiences. That we're not victim to anything that occurs, but these are great lessons that help us become better people and see things in different ways. So we were gonging to this card, freedom. So not only freedom in our mind, but freeing us from the things, the people that we've been giving our power away to. Very interesting. I trust you're all feeling great. So this pretty much winds up the solar plexus chakra, our power center. So let's not overthink things now. Let's work or move from the instincts of our gut, our solar plexus chakra. So you might find, especially while this energy is strong, that you feel less mentally driven, like overthinking things. And the mental energy is very good, but if we're in a very out of balance mental space, then we're always going to be mentally driven, overthinking and feeding those thoughts a lot. So as our mind has got a bit of balance now and has been put back into perspective, we're going to now find that we might move more from our solar plexus, our instincts, and trusting out the movement of our gut, our knowing. So more of an instinct than a mental driven. When we're very mentally driven, it tends to lean us forward on our path, and we're very much this way moving forward. So from our solar plexus, we're very much body moving forward. So checking in with our body, seeing how things feel, and just having gut instincts. Split second gut instincts. This, that, this pull, that retraction, this pull. And we can almost drive ourselves, navigate straight from our solar plexus and from our power center when we're in it. So you might notice a bit of a difference. See how you go. So thank you. Yes, our gut. The power of our gut instincts. So next chakra is in 1 week, the heart chakra. So you'll probably find, I think I've booked things mainly on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Friday, because they're my sort of available days. So I'm about to go to Melbourne. So we've got a week now until our next one, which is the heart. So what we can do if we want to is use this time now to really study or get to know these lower 3 chakras. So these lower 3 chakras we've already connected with. These are our more physical chakras. And when we get to the heart, that's the bridge between those physical chakras and these 3 upper, more spiritual chakras. So this is a great opportunity now to really get to know our base chakra, our sacral chakra, our solar plexus, and what these energies offer us, and how we can become better people based on the information that we're learning, and how we can let go maybe a little bit easier of things we've been holding on to, and navigate through our day-to-day life maybe in a clearer, more confident manner. So come back, connect with these videos if you're inspired to. See how they fit in your everyday life. That's where you're going to really see them count. So as you deal with everyday things happening in your life, see where these fit, see where in these lower 3 chakras you feel that you're being stirred, and what have you learned that can help bring a balance, or grab your tools to support any loss of power or what have you. So that's what I would suggest. So in 1 week on the 18th of June is the heart chakra. So I look forward to connecting with you then. I will send through a preparation sort of list and ideas a little bit before then at some point. So before we go, I'm just looking for a healing energy card to go. So to represent our forward movement from here, what we need to know about how to anchor or live more from an empowered state, a balanced, empowered state. What do we need to know in moving forward? So thank you so much. If you do have any questions at all, just send me a message through my website at templeofbalance.com.au. So thank you. So our best card for forward movement from the solar plexus chakra is this: new life. We've now created space for the new that we've been asking for and wanting to come into our life, but it grows inside us. It doesn't come to us. It's not some miracle man that comes and gives us something. This is all inside us. So we've created space now in the area of our solar plexus to birth new things. And there also feels to be a new birthing of power inside us, a new understanding of our personal power and how we can work with it and how we can use it, how we give it away and how we can get it back. So once we realize that we give our power away, then we're a bit more aware of maybe when we might be doing it next time, so we can rein it back in before we lose too much. So it says new ideas. See, we're making space not only for more power, but new ideas, because when our mind is not so full, jam-packed, full of more and more stuff crammed in there, and then the life force feeds more and more and more, and we're just all jam-packed and stretched out our mind energy with thoughts and just, you know, constantly turning that mouse running around that wheel over and over again. As we clear that, as we get our power back mentally, then we have space for new ideas and inspirations to spark up in our mind. And we have more of a confidence in ourselves to be able to follow through if the things we want to follow through with. Not all ideas are worth pursuing. Some ideas lead to other ideas that are better. So it's good to weigh them up against our own common sense. It says here, nurture your dreams to bring them into reality. Focus, that's a very strong solar plexus message. Nourishment, life, look, pay attention, support, and balance. You're supporting yourself by getting your power back. And that's really all I need to say. This has been quite eye-opening and very empowering, I've felt. So I trust you feel a bit of that too. And I trust that you've felt and remember what's important to you. So thank you so much for connecting, and I will connect with you next time for the heart chakra. So I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you after. Namaste.